Flowers, number 22, who's their all-purpose back, and certainly carries the majority of the time, although any one of the backs can carry the ball. The Pioneers are their main strength is the running game. They'll pitch the ball back and go either way. They'll come right up the middle. They believe in the power is the program. So Panthers have definitely got their work cut out tonight. This will be the biggest team that they've faced. It'll match up to the Panthers in size on the line. Certainly the Pioneers don't have the depth, as they only have 43 players on the roster, of which 20 of them are sophomores. So should be an exciting matchup tonight, Terry. The weather's perfect, and I'm sure the coaches from both teams, Coach Schwartz and Coach Young, have had no trouble getting the boys up for the game. So we're just about ready to kick off.
Well, this is a ball game. We really don't expect any surprises. Both teams to go with their strength. West relies on running ball game, and Derby with a balanced attack. And I think both of them go the bread and butter route to start and try to do what got them the 6-0 record to this point. So it should be a hard-hitting, good ball game.
Jason Kemp set the kickoff for the Panthers, and he drives a high kick. Goes down to mishandled inside the 15. Heavy pursuit by the Panthers. Ball's going to be downed inside the 15-yard line.
That was great coverage. The receiver just kind of misplayed the ball, and they were fortunate for him to fall on it. Derby was breathing right down his back and about their own 13-yard line.
Pioneers primarily run out of the I formation, or a power I, with Flowers at tailback and McCoy at the fullback position. Brian brings him out, puts McCoy in motion. Straight handoff, and I'm not sure what happened, but there's nobody going to catch Bedford 33. I never saw the play, Terry.
That was just a dive right over the left tackle, and there was a gap there. Linebackers were caught inside, nobody filled a hole, and it was just nothing but off to the races as soon as they hit the line.
It's an 87-yard touchdown run by number 33. Hunters came to play football. They've got whoever wins tonight's game will certainly have 3 more games to play, and whoever loses is only going to have 2. So there's no reason to hold anything back, and if that's any indication of what the Pioneers have got, they're ready to play. Kick is up, but it's no good. It's wide right. So Panthers had this happen to them over at campus first play of the game, and tailback went 75 yards, I believe, for a touchdown. But
Derby's going to have to regroup and make sure that they're strap their chin straps and come out ready to hit and get some momentum back on their side now. Play tonight, but being this such a big ball game, wanted to come down and see it if they were in the area and not go into another ball game.
Billy Wise, number 5, is back deep to receive for the Panthers. He's going to set up on his 5-yard line. It's a deep kick. It's going to go over to the right side. Billy's going to field it on the 5. Pretty good return by Billy. Gets it out close to the... We're going to spot it on about the 27-yard line, 28-yard line of the Panthers. So about a 23-yard return for Billy. Panthers break the huddle. Travis Glazier comes wide left for the Panthers. Wise goes wide right. I formation with Young and Igo setbacks. Hand off to Igo, straight ahead. Breaks a couple of tackles, gets to the outside, picks up about 7 yards. Gets out across the 35-yard line.
Flag on the play, Ron, looked like a face mask call. Nice blocking out front, and Justin just popped outside and had a lot of running room. We look for Wichita West to basically play a 5-2 tonight, starting those guys. Number 74 corner, the 2 tackles, the score leader, and Brian.
49 Pioneers.
Well, I know this is one thing the coaches want to do is come out and establish their offensive, control the offensive line, and based on the first play, they've done that with the offensive unit.
Panthers in the spread, pro set. Shaw drops straight back, looks out, ball's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Number 45 got a hand on it for the Pioneers.
That's one of their middle linebackers, Fazell. One thing we are seeing the Pioneers do, and that's to do a lot of stunning, it looks like, and a lot of stepping in with their middle linebackers. Phil did that on several occasions, had some success, did get burned doing it also. But apparently West is going to try some of the same tactics.
Panthers in the spread again. Igo the tailback. Pitch back to Justin on the right side. Justin cuts inside a couple of blocks, gets still on his feet, driving down Going to be a couple yards short of the first down, but a good hard driving run by Justin Igo.
Just a quick pitch power off tackle, and had some nice blocking on the right side. The Pioneers are big, but they don't have quite the quickness that our big guys do, and they feel like they could seal them inside and get outside on them.
Pioneers are big, Terry. They run 250 right across that front line. They've got one person in the offensive line that I think is about 175, and other than that, they're 240, 250. 3rd and 3 for the Panthers. Pitch back to Igo on the right side. Justin cuts inside. He got the first down, and probably another yard to spare.
Well, there again, nothing fancy, Ron. Just one of the bread and butter plays that Derby's ran all season, and I think both teams are going to come out and say this is what we do best, and you've got to stop our number one attack before we go try something else.
Pioneers 39-yard line.
Glazer and Wise check into the ball game at wide receivers. Billy comes wide left. Travis goes in the slot. Backs are split. Well, misdirection to Justin, and he's going to be stopped for probably a 3-yard loss on that. Looked like there's a mix-up in the backfield a little bit.
A lineman behind the line of scrimmage, yard or two.
We'll bring up 2nd down, 13 for the Panthers. Slot left. Shaw spins, looks downfield. He's got a man open. I'm not so sure he threw the right receiver on that one. Billy Wise was open down the left side of the field pretty well, but pass goes incomplete, intended to Russ Parskell.
Pretty good coverage back for the Pioneers. Benford and Smallwood back on the coverage. One thing that the Panthers have been able to do is use what speed they have to outrun the defensive backs and run past them, and they're probably going to see a little more speed in the defensive backfield than they've seen all season.
Panthers go with 2 tight ends on this. Young's the lone setback. Tommy rolls right, sets up, looks downfield, throws deep. He's got Billy Wise at the 25-yard line, wide open. Billy hits him right on the numbers, and Billy steps out of bounds. So nice pattern by Billy, good read by Tommy, and just a good play.
Guys did some good job picking up some of the pass rushers, buying some time.
26-yard line. First down, Derby.
Panthers in the spread. Parskell comes wide left. Pitch back to Igo. Justin cuts inside. He's going to be hit inside the 15-yard line. He had a seam there for a minute, then it closed up. Good cutback by Justin.
Well, they have some good lateral pursuit, but there is like some nice holes out there. Initial when he hits that line.
Make it the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. That line seems to be handling the West front defensive 5 without too much trouble, Terry. As you say, they're opening up some pretty good holes. Panthers with a double tight end. Pitch back to Igo on the left side. Justin breaks inside the 5-yard line. Almost goes into the end zone, tripped up at the last minute.
That play, both the middle linebackers and also the strong safety came up inside. All 3 guys on the stunt that time, and the offensive line just did a good job of sealing off Judd Mann, Scott Haskins over on the right side, and Buckingham sealing that right side down, because there was 3 guys stunning on that right side.
1st and goal for the Panthers. Ball on about the 4. Pioneers are stacked tight inside. Pitch back to Igo on the left. Justin cuts it up, goes in, standing up. Nice block.
Nice.
Jason Young threw a great block on that.
Buckingham and Young both were out wide throwing good blocks, and he went in untouched. And that's got to get the mo back to the big green machine right now, and that's what they were looking for. Now they put the muck here, put back on the defensive shoulders. And said, all right, defense, let's come out and stop them now. That's what the Panthers needed, Ron, was a good drive, no mistakes, no penalties, no turnovers, and that's the kind of ball it's going to take to win the ball game tonight.
Well, I think you're right, Terry. They took that kickoff, and with the exception of that 15-yard penalty, which didn't hurt anything, basically marched 65 yards where they grounded out and just did an outstanding job blocking, reading the receivers, the patterns. They looked impressive.
It was one of the nicer drives that Derby's put together, and it was a balanced drive. They did it with a strong running game and also with a strong passing game, especially in some big third down situations. They were able to come out and convert. And, that's what wins ball games for you.
I look to see Tommy throwing some deep passes tonight, Terry. I just don't think the West receiver defenders can stay with our wideouts. And
I'll tell you where they might get surprised is rolling somebody out of the backfield a little bit, because the City League is not a league that throws the ball a lot, so they haven't had to defend a lot. They've got the speed to cover your guys outside. They go out and cover one-on-one, but I don't know that they have the experience of picking somebody up, a tight end coming out, releasing out late, or somebody rolling out of the backfield. I definitely think that Derby is not afraid to put the ball in the air, and if that's what it takes, they will go to it to get the job done.
I think you're right, Terry. We didn't even have to watch that extra point. The eruption of the crowd tells us that Jason Kemp's kick was good. We don't know about West.
Well, it's
they're running. They're 73-yard average right now.
we're going to have to go back and see how this defense regroups and how they react, and hopefully they can get fired up and come out like they did against Campus, and they virtually shut Campus down after that first long run.
Benford's back deep to receive for the Pioneers in the middle. He's the one that broke it for over 80 yards, and I think he's going to field this one. He's not a slow back. Trying to get his wall to set up, comes up the middle, and 87 hit him, Josh Riedel.
Being able to contain them, and on the other hand, being able to get good returns when the few times that they did get to receive a kickoff.
Brian's the quarterback, pitches back to Flowers, and he's hit by Tyson Malik for a loss of about 1.5 yards. Tyson came up from the corner and stuck him.
That's the defense that the coaching staff is looking for this ball game. They want kids out putting their helmet on somebody and sticking them every time, and that's the beginning right there.
To hit somebody, and the way they played the City League teams in the last 4 or 5 years, the City League teams just don't like to get hit that hard. Hand off to Flowers straight ahead. He gets back to about the line of scrimmage.
Derby's pretty fortunate that time. They failed to cover the split out of the.
Yeah, they lucked out, Terry. They had a wide receiver on the left side, like you said. He was totally over there by himself. 3rd and 11 for the Pioneers. Pioneers in a power I. Brian drops back, throws deep. 81 kind of broke open, but he'd had to be about 8'5" and run a 9.200 to catch that one.
He did get behind the defensive guys, and they just couldn't connect.
Tyson Malik drops back to about his 30-yard line to receive the punt. Panthers are coming hard. They almost got it. Looks like a clip. He gets a kickoff that I don't know how. They had him trapped in the backfield. Heck of a job by the punter for West, because he dodged a bullet.
He did a good job of staying cool and collected that time, because he had 2 guys flash by him right in front of him, and another guy got a hand on him. He was able to collect himself and roll out a little bit to the left and boot the ball downfield. But at the same time, Derby does take over in good field position, and more important, they did stop their offense and establish some superiority that they didn't have on that first series.
I was very surprised or impressed with the composure of the punter on that, Terry. Most guys would have tried to run it, but he got outside and got the kick off, and it wasn't that bad. Panthers in the spread. Pitch back to Igo. Jason coming on the left side. Picks up about 4 yards on the play before he's brought down on the outside. I don't think he could have made the play, but picked up 4 yards, nevertheless. 2nd and 6 for the Panthers. Backs are split. Fullback trapped to Young. Jason is hit after about a yard gain. He might get it out to the 40.
tackle made by middle linebacker Jay for the Pioneers, and he's the one that seems to be doing most of the stunning on the inside there. He simply took a stun over the guard position. And,
brings up a crucial third down for the Panthers. 3rd and 4, ball just across the Panther 40-yard line. Panthers go with 2 tight ends. Young's the lone setback. Tommy rolls left. Being chased out of the backfield. He's going to run the ball. He's going to get run out of bounds. Depends upon where how they're going to spot it short.
It's going to be about a yard, maybe a yard and a half short.
Yeah.
He'll be ready for the first down.
Pretty close. They may measure.
It looks short to us, but I think they're going to measure for it, Terry. But I think he's a yard short, like you say. Sure looked that way where the ref spotted it, but him a couple of times this year. But I believe this is the first time that they've punted the starting team. The first string has had to punt.
It very well may be that.
It's 4th and about a half a yard for the Panthers.
They haven't punted much, but they also haven't had to convert many 4th downs either. They usually been in position to pick the 1st and 10 up on the 2nd or 3rd down.
Shelby Werman's back to punt for the Panthers. Low snap, Shelby fields it. Nice high kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 20 by 33. Benford, and he's hit about Pioneers will have it 1st and 10, ball just short of their own 25-yard line. Make it the 24. Power I. McCoy goes in motion. It's that quick handoff to 33 Benford that went for 83 yards before, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard.
Young was in on the initial hit, and Dave DeVore came from his linebacker position, and Young had him low and DeVore had him high. It was just a good team tackle that time by that.
Well, I think the first time it worked, Terry, they just didn't. They assumed that Flowers was going to be the main ball carrier because the linebackers are tight, and once they got through, he was gone. So several fake handoffs, pitched to the outside to Flowers, and he's going to be, or Benton again, and he's tripped up after about a 2 or 3 yard gain.
It was a big tackle by Malik that time, again out in the open field, and
to Benton, but Tyson defensed it very well. 3rd and a long 5 for the Pioneers. Ball's on about the 27, 28-yard line of the Pioneers. Bryan's dropped straight back to throw. He's being pressured. Throws out to the right, complete to 45. Wide open out here on the flat. They don't have him in the backfield, so they must have rotated him in. 235-pound tight end, so he's no small boy out there. 1st down for the Pioneers. Straight handoff to the fullback, McCoy. He drives forward for about 3 yards, maybe 4.
he had the Panthers going to have to gang tackle him and manhandle him a little bit. He's a big boy and hard runner.
2nd and 6. Handoff to Flowers straight ahead. He's going to get out to about the 50. Should be across the 50. Close to a 1st down. About 6 yards on the carry. Pioneers aren't going to risk anything, and they're going to give the ball to Flowers, but Coach Schwartz has done a lot for this program. Straight ahead to the fullback, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, but does drive forward to get the yard for the 1st down.
It's one of the things that some of the early ball games have hurt the Panthers, and that's been some dive space. I think at Winfield, their first drive was basically from guard to guard, and like I said, this is the ball game. One of the ball games that they scouted, and I'm sure they picked something up at that ball game.
McCoy goes in motion, handoff to 22 Flowers, and he's stopped just maybe a yard gain on the play.
This is the old kind of offense that was commonly referred to as 3 yards and a cloud of dust, and that's basically
9 for the Pioneers. I think you're right, Terry. There's not a whole lot of fancy stuff in the backfield for the Pioneers. It's just straight power football. They do a little bit of deceptiveness from several fakes, but most of the time it's straight ahead. When they line in that power high, those two front backs are real close to the line of scrimmage, so I suppose it sometimes could be a little hard for the linebackers to read that.
Well, that's the whole idea behind the misdirection play and some of the fakes, and that's just to freeze those linebackers for a second or two, and hopefully somebody can get in position to block them or seal off so they can't pursue. Derby front line's just got to get more aggressive, get off the ball just a little bit quicker, and gain some control of that line of scrimmage, and take that ball game away from tackle to tackle. And if Derby gets in position where they force Wichita West to throw, then we're going to be in good position because their passing game is just not that strong.
2nd and 9 for the Pioneers. Straight ahead handoff to fullback McCoy, and he's hit maybe a yard. They might mark a 2-yard gain at the most.
Moving off, and he moved on down the field.
They split Flowers wide to the left, and he's their speed man, 180-pound senior. Rory drops straight back, got a fullback coming across the middle, and he's wide open. Hit. I'll tell you what, Terry, he's going to go down close to the 5-yard line, but there's a clipping call back upfield, I'm sure, and Derby's just real lucky on that play.
They really are, and I don't think that play surprised anybody when he started in motion back towards the line of scrimmage. I think the coaching staff knew what was coming, and the defense just wasn't in position to make the play that time.
Around Flowers. So they're going to move it back to about the 43 with the penalty, and that'll make it 3rd and about 4. So this is a big 3rd down for the Panthers here, Terry. Big break for the Panthers.
It is a big break, and now it's up to the Panthers to take advantage of the break and turn it into something positive, because they're still not out of the woods yet. West is.
And they beat a good Northwest team prior to that 2 weeks ago, 14-13. So they're putting it all on the line. They come up to the line, going to be 3rd and 4. They've got double wide. Lone setback is the fullback McCoy, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe goes forward for a yard, Terry. Good defensive play by the Derby line and linebackers.
Young and Haskins in on the stop at time, and Jason Gamble also, and like I said, about 3 nice hits on there, sticks on there to bring them down. We're in the position now where West almost had one block last time they punted, so they could say, hey, let's not take a chance and run a little trick play or a direct snap back to one of the up guys.
Derby's got 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Now they drop 2 back. I wouldn't put it past Coach Schwartz to fake one, though. He snaps it deep. Punt's good. We're in punt. Excellent punt. That punt, just barely rolls into the end zone. Oh, no. He's going to...
No, he
did call it out. Okay, I sure saw it cross this side of the pylon, but where he stopped, I thought he was marking it about the 1-yard line. Dane Dumbable, the punter for West, excellent punt by him. Just about hit the corner on that one. Panthers come out in the slot right. Wise is wide. Glazer's in the slot. Hand off to Igo. Or Malik. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage and goes nowhere.
Tell you what, he was met by a whole host of linemen that time. Didn't look like there's much block on the right side of the line. Going outside off tackle and seal those guys down inside when they stunt.
2nd and we'll say 11, Terry. They lost a yard on the play. Go slot left for the Panthers. Hand off the outside. Excellent. Excellent defensive play by the Pioneers on the left side of or the right side of Derby's line. Still 3rd and 11 for the Panthers. They come with the spread. Now they go with 2 tight end setup. Young's the lone setback again for the Panthers. Tommy rolls right, looks downfield, still looking, throws. Ball is right to Billy. Hit Billy on the numbers, but popped loose.
Billy just couldn't quite get a grip on it. He was open, nice timing play. Just couldn't get the hand on the football.
Yeah, Tommy held the ball long enough, and Billy cut to the outside. He was 5 yards beyond the 1st down marker, but just popped loose there. So Panthers are going to have to punt it away for the 2nd time. that West is able to stop Derby, the more times, the more confidence they're going to build up, and the tougher it's going to be for the Panthers to. Herman doing the punting. Nice high spiral. It's turning over. It's going to bounce. Fielded by number 33, Benford again. Fields it on the first hop at his about his 30-yard line and tries to go laterally, but he's excellent pursuit by the Panthers.
Good.
Yes, they're working. They're working.
Mean Green needs to shut them down on this series and force them to punt from down deep in their own territory here. Straight ahead handoff to Bedford again. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. He may have gained a half a yard.
Pursued by that front defensive line that time.
True eye. True eye with the double.
Josh Reed was in on that tackle.
Pioneers are out with a power eye. Brian rolls out, looks downfield. He's got a man deep. Billy Wise is open, makes the interception. Billy played the ball perfect. Excellent pass defense by Billy Wise. Pass was intended deep for Burton, and he underthrew it, and Billy just played the ball.
I'm not sure what the West Pioneer receiver was doing that time, Ron. He just kind of ran down the field and didn't seem like he was expecting the ball or looking back for it, and he didn't look back for it until he saw Billy's eyes get about 3 inches wide, and then he realized that something was happening. He turned around. By then it was too late. That's what we're talking about, trying to force West into the passing game, because that's definitely their weak phase of the ball game.
Panthers in the spread.
What you got? What do you want me to draw? I got it up here.
Pitch back to Igo. Justin's going to be thrown for about a 4-yard loss on that play. Good defensive penetration on the right side of the Pioneers line.
It was, and basically what they're doing is they're shooting some people across the line. They're not even waiting to see where the plays develop, and they're guessing, hoping that they guess right.
Bring up 2nd and 13 for the Panthers. Ball just across the 40-yard line of the Panthers. Backs are split. Tommy drops straight back, looks left. Ball is tipped by McCoy. At the last minute, he had Russ Parskell out here on the right side, out in the flat open, but
Pioneers are doing that time. McCoy's a defensive end, and they're basically running on a pass situation, rush with the inside, and having those defensive ends drop down the flats and protect a little bit.
Tommy drops straight back, looks downfield. He's being pressured a little bit. He's going to run the ball and fumbles. Tommy, the ball gets loose as he goes down. And
I think they blew it dead. I'm not. No,
I don't think so.
I guess maybe they didn't. I thought maybe they blew him down.
Well, there's 2 turnovers. We intercept, and
Panthers may need to run a couple little draws or a quarterback draw just to keep them honest up the middle. Their defensive backs are dropping deep in a pass situation. The defensive ends are dropping out to the flat, and there's a lot of time coming in and battling for the district title.
I think you're going to see the Panthers, and of course this is just a guess, but I just have a feeling you're going to see the Panthers settle into a groove here before long and start doing the things they do well and really start moving the ball down the field. High formation, man in motion for the Pioneers. Brian pitches back to Flowers on the right side. He tries to get around the corner, but he's going to be hitting the backfield for a loss. And that's their bread and butter stuff there.
That really is. And Malley came up quick outside, and he wasn't surprised he was in position to make a play and tackle him for maybe a 1.5 2-yard loss.
Pioneers in an I formation, 2 tight ends. Brian straight handoff to McCoy, 44, and he's still on his feet. I'll tell you what, I don't know who made that tackle, but he was gone otherwise.
I'll tell you what, he did a good job, and it looked like he ran right past some guys. Got in the backfield and had a lot of running room back there.
McCoy just powered his way up the middle, carried for a first down, so now it's 1st and 10, ball on about the 23-yard line of the Panthers. Power I, handoff to Flowers, hitting the backfield, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, and still breaks through. Just they're making the contact, but not bringing them down.
He was hit a good 3 times behind the line of scrimmage before he even got back to the line of scrimmage. And like I said, they just didn't get him wrapped up. And big, strong runner. a lot of the speed that the Panthers have seen this season. The backs are small and didn't take much to bring them down once you got a hand on them. But West does have some size and speed to go with it.
McCoy in motion, hand off to Flowers. He spins right before he was hit, but Haskins nailed him back for about a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, Haskins in on that play, and Norwood also in on the tackle. Maybe a couple-yard loss. A kicking ball game they have, but if they don't have a place kicker, if nothing else, they will.
Brian rolls right, pass is complete to Benton again, good enough for a first down, and he was wide open out there, Terry.
There seemed to be some confusion on the Panther defense that time. Split left and split right both, and guys were late getting back there and covering each of them.
First and goal for the Pioneers, ball inside the 10 at about the 8. Power eye for the Pioneers, handoff to Flowers straight ahead, and he breaks tackles, gets down close to the 5-yard line. Malik brings him down.
Guys' names a lot of times because they haven't got past that core of middle linebackers and defensive line.
Handoff to Flowers again, and he's hit just right. He gets across the 5. He's hitting the backfield again, Terry, but just that power eye they line up in and give it to Flowers. Power eye again. Both ends in tight for straight ahead handoff.
Well, it's an option.
Oh boy.
He had everybody fooled. They ran the option and just faked it to the fullback and came out wide with the option of either running or pitching it out wide to Benford, and both of them were wide open. Nobody picked up the quarterback and made him option it. And it wouldn't have made much difference because there was no way out there to pick the option man up if he had pitched it.
Excellent call by Coach Schwartz to fake into the line, because they faked it to McCoy and he was hit in the backfield and stopped cold. And unfortunately, Panther defenders and secondary didn't read it. And Brian just kept it on the option, went in untouched. Had me fooled. Going the half, there's still plenty of time for the Panthers to come back and score, but at the same time, they don't want to get out of their game plan and do something that might cause a turnover and give West another opportunity. Pioneers are going to go for 2. Split 2 wideouts. Brian rolls right, looks down the middle. Tried pass is broken up. Good pass defense. I'm not sure who it was.
They weren't trying anything fancy. They just put a guy out split and let him run a slant across the middle. And once he gets inside position, it's real tough to stop it. But I think it was Russell Parsco on the stop that time.
Been on the tackles, been hit, making contact in the backfield, but haven't been able to sustain them. And of course, the important thing is that right now the Pioneers are up 12-7. So really, Tyson Malik back deep to receive the kick. It's a low kick. It's going to be handled by Young right at the 20-yard line. Jason comes back the outside to the right side, gets out close to the 40. So that gives the Panthers excellent field position with 2:10 to go in the first half.
Well, they did a good job of doing that.
I'm sure that West is going to be thinking to defend against the deep pass. Panthers with the spread. Hand off to Igo, misdirection. Jason's got a hole. He's going to get the first down, but made a cut back to the inside. I guess that was the right move. It's hard to tell from up here. It sure looked like he had a lot of running room to the outside, though.
Well, it's he has to make a quick decision, and he made a nice run. There's nice blocking on that left side. That's the bread and butter that Panthers used on that first drive, and that was the off-tackle stuff.
What's Russell doing?
Panthers in the spread again. Young and Malik are the setbacks. Shaw spins, looks downfield, and Tommy's going to eat it. Middle linebacker breaking through and throwing Tommy for a huge loss.
Tommy was hit just about the time he was ready to throw, and he's down. He may be hurt.
Taking the tackle on Shaw. We do have timeout.
That was just a Sam go that time, Coach.
West is playing excellent defense right now, and I just from the way it looks, there's going to have to be some adjustment made, but I think they're going to have to roll Tom a little bit more and get that center of the line, the offensive line, to kind of tighten up and stop those linebackers from penetrating.
Well, that's one thing that we've seen in passing situations. They have a lot of people back in the patterns, and Derby's going to have to counter that with some draws or some screens to keep them honest. In running situations, especially those middle linebackers or two linebackers and even the two ends falling back in pass coverage and only rushing about 3 guys.
Tommy Shaw comes off the field on his own power. He looks to be okay, but Barry Galbraith goes in, number 9 at quarterback now. And I don't think the Panthers miss a stroke by that switch, so we'll see what happens here. 2nd and about 20. Barry's going to throw on the first down. He's rolling right now. Barry's tucking it away. I'm not sure he throws it upfield to nobody.
He threw it to Travis. There is a flag. It may be holding on the Panthers back deep in behind the line of scrimmage.
There's just some missed assignments right now, and the Panthers need to probably go into the halftime and regroup and come back out and put it together. I'd be surprised to
I'm sure
see Coach Young put it up here unless it's a little short fullback type pass. It's pretty easy.
I'm sure the Pioneers are going to have 2 or 3 center fielders back there taking away the long stuff.
Just a fullback trap, and Jason's going to be stopped in the backfield he might have got back to the line of scrimmage. I don't believe he did. I believe he lost a yard on the play. So right now, Terry, the Panthers just don't look too good. They look a little confused out there.
Yeah, they sure do, and they're getting beat off the line. Even the offense, Panthers are beating off the line of scrimmage, and Panthers know what the count is. I'm sure that's one of the things coaches talked to them about at halftime is we got to get off with the snap of the ball and control that line of scrimmage.
Well, the half ends, and it's been a long time since the Panthers have gone to the locker room down, but 12-7, Pioneers are going to take it in the locker room, and that can't do anything but good things for the white and maroon over there.
Well, I'm sure they're going to be fired up coming out of the locker room at halftime with the lead, of any kind of lead, and they do have it up to 5 points, so they will be fired up. We talk about the depth and how Derby is a little stronger in depth, but it may be negated. You take a team like Wichita West. Well, Ron, we're ready to start the second half. Both teams out taking their warm-ups. We've got a few halftime stats to share with you. For Derby, there are 6 first downs, 4 by rushing, 1 by passing, 1 by penalty. West had 4 first downs, 2 by passing and 2 by rushing. Rushing, Derby had 17 attempts for a net gain of 46 yards. Passing, they were 1 for 5 for 16 yards. Passing for West, they were 3 for 6 for 26 yards with 1 interception. Total offense, Derby had 62 and Wichita West had 157, virtually almost exactly half of that coming on the first carry from scrimmage that resulted, of course, in their first score. Fumbles, Derby's fumbled once and lost it. West has yet to fumble. And penalties, Derby's had 1 for 17 yards, and West has 2 for 30 yards. Individually, Igo's carried 10 times for 52 yards. Malik's carried 2 for no gain. Sean's had 3 carries. Tommy Shaw's had 3 carries for -9, and Young's had 2 for 3. Derby's, like we said, they have 17 carries for 46 yards, 5 passes for 16 yards. This second half, Derby has the option. Will probably receive. We expect one to receive the kick on that second half. Take the ball. I'm sure it was an interesting halftime conversation the Derby coaching staff and the had with the Derby players. This is the first ball game that Derby's trailed at halftime. Of course, they have trailed in some ball games, Campus, for example, but came back to gain control. one of the things I'm sure the Derby coaching staff talked about with the players was getting back to where they control the line of scrimmage, offense and defense, and getting back. If you don't control the line of scrimmage, there's a lot of things you can't do, and that's the key to the success is controlling that line of scrimmage. And I'm sure that was one of the items that was talked about by the coaching staff with the Panthers. He has interrupted passes, interrupted running plays. They definitely have to put somebody on him to control him to allow the backfield to do what they want to do.
Set to kick off, Tyson Malik back deep to receive. It's a high, deep kick. Tyson fields it about the 1 yard line. Got a little wall in front of him, cuts back up the field. He's hit a couple of times.
Ball, fumble.
I believe he fumbled the ball, Terry. You're right, and it's going to be recovered by West. So that's not a good way to start the second half.
That's really not, and now West is in real good field position, and the momentum that Derby wanted to come out and establish at the second half now has got to be done by the defense.
Another touchdown would just be, it certainly wouldn't put an end to the game, but it's going to make it awful tough because they're fired up and they're ready to play some football. Pitch back goes to Flowers. He's looking for an opening. He's going to be topped. Excellent defensive play out there by, I believe, Malik again.
Russell Parskell on the tackle that time. West is in retreat.
5 yard loss for the Pioneers, 2nd and 15. Brian drops straight back. He's being pressured. He's going to throw downfield. He had a man open.
Good pressure on him.
45 tight end was open over there, but he just overthrew him.
Well, we're on the move, so Derby can't let him drop back and set up and wait and pick a receiver. They've got to keep the same type of pressure on every pass play.
Big down for the Panthers here, 3rd and 15. I know their kicker's got the distance. I don't know how accurate he is for a field goal attempt. Brian rolls back again. He drops straight back. He's being pressured. Pass is complete out in the flat. Oh, Lordy. Pass is complete to 33 Bedford, and he takes it down inside the 5. Almost scores, Terry.
He made a nice run after he did catch the ball. Derby had some guys over. They just simply pulled some offensive linemen, threw them over in the flat, and threw behind them. And Derby didn't have enough guys over there. Little sideline screen, their flat screen that they threw. Excellent execution by the West High Pioneers. This is what coaches refer to as gut check time now. You've got 1st and goal from about 3 yards out, and it's going to decide who wants to
hand off to McCoy. He breaks one tackle, and he's going to be brought down by Malik for a loss. Tried to get away, and he's a little slow getting up this time, but good penetration.
Malik did a good job of reading run, coming up and making the stop that time on the outside. But Ron was seeing a lot of good plays on 1st and 2nd.
44 McCoy is going to go out of the ball game on his own power, but he's limping. It appears to be his right leg. That would certainly not be good for the Pioneers, as he's an excellent blocker and certainly a tremendous power runner for him. But
well, he's played an integral part the first half. He did a good job of running the ball from that fullback position. Like I say, he does a good job of blocking. He wasn't highlighted as a blocker by any means, but he is probably the biggest, strongest, best fullback that the Panthers have seen this year in the first 6 ball games.
Trying to pick up who came in to replace him. Benford's brother is also in the backfield. Smallwood's way out wide to the right. Option play. He's going to be brought down from behind by Buckingham. Brings him down on a good defensive play.
Jason just came across from his end position that time, and Derby did a good job. They had the pitch man covered. They had the pursuit that they needed to fill the gaps and come in and make the play. One thing to look for is West split a guy way out and tried to roll that way, and last time they did that was on that extra point pass. They tried that same setup rolling out there and just ran a slant across the middle.
Big 3rd down, 3rd and goal from the 7. Brian rolls out, he throws deep, excellent catch by number 22, Flowers, and he was just wide open. Nobody came out and covered him at all, Terry.
Tell you what, he made about as nice one-handed catch as you'd see. The ball was up over him and behind him, and he just reached up and kind of batted it and took control of it, and his concentration, they were able to keep the eye out and gathered in, go to the end zone. There again, Derby makes two nice plays to stop him and set him for a loss, and then the big third down they can convert.
Well, with 18 on the board, they're going to go for two again. Power I set. Double tight end. Bryan rolls out on the option, and he's stopped again.
Young and Malik on the tackle. There again, Derby did a good job of taking the option away. Parskel came up and covered the option man, and the only option left for the quarterback is to turn the ball upfield and run it. He doesn't have that kind of speed nor size that he's going to, in most cases, take it into the end zone. They get a lot of time off the clock. They do a good job of keeping it out of your offense's hands, and Derby's used to having maybe 12, 13, 14 possessions each ball game, and this is one of the ball games you may get 4 or 5 possessions each half, and that's it. So Derby needs to start capitalizing when they do have the ball.
Billy Wise back deep to receive the kick for the Panthers. DeBebo ready to kick off for the Pioneers. He sends another deep kick. Billy's going to field it at the goal line. He starts back up the field, coming right up the middle. Billy's got a little seam and almost breaks loose, tripped up at the last minute, gets out to about the 32-yard line. So Panthers will have pretty good field position to start this drive.
That's on one with Billy and the kicker about midfield.
Shaw's back in the game now, so Tommy appears to be okay. Panthers in a spread. Young and Igo are the setbacks. Hand off to Igo on a misdirection. Justin's around the right side. Going to be brought down on a collar tackle there. But not till he picks up about 5 or 6 on the play. Make it 5 yards.
20 years ago, that wouldn't have stopped the tailback. Back in the days when they had tearaway jerseys, the defensive guy had a handful of jerseys, and the runner would still be running downfield.
He's second.
Just barely able to get hold of his shirt that time.
Second and long 5 for the Panthers. Spread formation again.
Sam, go.
Hand off to Igo. Cuts back inside. Justin's out across the 45-yard line. Good enough for a first down. Pick up about 8 on the play.
Tell you the key to that play that time, their middle linebacker, 55, Jay's taking a stun as he had all half, and that time Norwood was able to take him out of the play and open the hole up the middle. Matt did a good job of picking up that stunt that time, fullback or linebacker stunt.
Spread for the Panthers. Pitch back to Igo on the left side. Justin cuts inside, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, gets the first down, still fighting. Justin almost broke loose. I'll tell you what, Terry, now that's just one determined run.
That's great effort. The thing that scares you is something like that is you've got about 1 on 4 or 5, and besides tackling, they're in there trying to grab the ball and strip you the football. And boy, it's important as you're fighting for an extra yard that you don't forget that that extra yard isn't any good without the football in your hands.
First and 10 for the Panthers. Ball on the 43 of the Pioneers. Excellent drive going for the Panthers, and they need to take this down the key and put it in the end zone. Now Shaw, direction play to Igo again, picks up about 5 on the play.
That we know how to do, and this is a drive that's evident that they just need to keep it going and keep their mind in the ball game, go down and put a score on the board and get themselves back in the ball game.
Second and 5, Panthers in the spread. Linebackers come up tight for West. Linebackers jumped a little bit. I think that's going to be against West, Terry.
Well, I'm sure that's one of the things that adjustment the coach has made, and let's lengthen that count. If they're going to stunt and they're going to get anxious, let's go on a long count and see if we can draw them off sides. What happens if you don't draw them off sides? Then they've got to rock back on their heels because they've got to stop their momentum from going forward.
DeVore and Parscale check in at receivers for the Panthers. Wise comes out. Parscale comes wide right, I formation. 2 tight ends in. Pitch back is to Igo. Jason slips it outside the tackle, breaks one. Jason's still on his feet, breaks another tackle, and now it's a foot race. he's hit hard or right at the 10-yard line. Excellent run by Justin Igo.
That was a good run by Justin. He may have got his bell run a little bit as a defensive player. They went helmet to helmet on the hit that time, and both of them are still down. Just two kids playing hard football right there. You hope neither one of them's hurt very bad. I'm sure they're just stung just a little bit. But there again, excellent downfield blocking, excellent blocking at the line of scrimmage by the Panthers, and that's what we were looking for the first half that they weren't getting all the time.
I haven't noticed if McCoy's back in the game yet. He was the fullback that was hurt before, and Malik comes in a tailback now. Panthers, I'm not sure what happened, but Jad Munn moved just a little quick and
Off a little bit, or maybe you're thinking off a little bit. Up to this point, it's been a nice error-free drive by the Panthers.
1st and 15 Panthers now. Fullback trap inside and it goes nowhere. They're going to have a hard time trapping today. Unfortunately, Big Matt Norwood's just having a hard time moving that 55 who's playing nose guard, and then 51 who's a linebacker. Both those boys are around 240, 250.
Justin Igo returned back to the ball game. Fans appreciated to see him back in, and apparently he's doing okay.
Panthers split the backfield, two tight ends in. Blazers wide right. Travis calls timeout. Now I'm not sure why he called it.
I think
we were short a player maybe. That's about the way it's been going. The Panthers have made a few more misexecution and mistakes, and the Pioneers have capitalized on them. Panthers split the backfield and coming to spread. Shaw rolls left, looks downfield, pass out to 42, over his head to Justin Igo. Justin was wide open out in the left flat. Tommy just threw it over his head.
They're for their responsibility, and they can't stun all the time.
Big third down play for the Panthers coming up, Terry. Panthers split their receivers. Wise is wide right, Parscale goes wide left. Tommy rolls right, looks downfield, throws back to Justin again, overthrows Justin Igo on a throwback pattern, and Justin was open. So now what do you do with 4th and 13? Ball on the 15-yard line of the Pioneers. What's your call, Coach?
Well, I tell you what, I guess if it's me, I'm probably kicking the field goal. That puts you 8 down, then you can score and go for 2 and tie the ball game if you have to. You got 4th and about 15.
Jason Kemp goes in the ball game, so it appears that they will go for the field goal. They're going to spot it on about the 22-yard line, so it'll be a 32-yard field goal. High snap. Jason's kick is up, and I don't believe it's any good. I believe he pulled it.
Tommy was real lucky to get the ball down. It was up above his head, and a snap like that throws your timing off.
Fired up Pioneers down here inside deep in their own territory.
Derby really does need to raise the occasion on defense here.
Pass, Flowers back to throw. He's got a man downfield. It's going to be, I'd almost would have called that offensive pass interference. He threw it short, and Klisch came back for it. It looked like the Pioneer receiver came back through him, but another wrinkle in the Pioneers. This time Flowers comes wide left for the Pioneers. Single setback. We haven't seen that all night. Brian just a straight handoff to the fullback, to Flower. I guess it's Benford, 33, and he's hit right at the line. Maybe gets a yard on the play, bring up 3rd down 9. Smallwood comes wide left for the Pioneers.
R set. Is this an L set? L set.
High formation. 2 tight ends in. Handoff to Flowers. He's trying to get outside. Fumbles the ball. I believe Derby got the ball back, Jerry.
That was the big play that the defense was needing, and maybe this will fire the Panthers up and get them some momentum going, get them back in the ball game right here.
On the 26-yard line of the Pioneers. Panthers got to come out and stick it to them now. 2 tight ends in. Blazers wide right, I formation.
Starters are in, Coach.
Pitch to Malik, cuts back inside. Going to break 1 or 2 tackles, but probably pick up 4 on the play, maybe 5. lay down and die in any way, shape, or form on this drive here. Panthers, again, 2nd and 5, ball just short of the Pioneer 20-yard line. I formation again, 2 tight ends. Hand off to Malik, misdirection, and then Tyson's just going to have to run into a big pile. He might have got to the 20-yard line, but I'm not sure. There just wasn't any room at all over there on the left side. It closed tight.
Catch Tyson, pull him down for a short gain, a penny gain.
Probably no gain on the play. 3rd and 5 for the Panthers. 2 tight ends again. I formation. Pitch back to Igo. Justin just can't find any running room, and he almost loses the ball. I think Justin was hesitating a little bit, looking for an opening, couldn't find one, and was going to be thrown for a loss. So it's going to be fourth and about 8, Terry. It's a big decision for Coach now.
Yeah, it really is.
It's almost out of his field goal range.
You're down in this position early and weren't able to convert on a field goal, and you're too close to punt. So it's a big 4th down call coming up for the
Panthers are going to go for it. Come out with a spread. Malik's in the wing. Tommy drops back, the coverage drops back, and he's got Corey Gurley wide open, and should be enough for the first down. Corey's inside the 15.
That's the first pass to Corey tonight, and Corey just ran down and out. And last possession, Derby had a little time connecting on some passes that've been there all season. And, hopefully they're getting their timing back and going to go do what they can do now.
That was a real gut check play for the Panthers, and Tommy dropped back and didn't have too much pressure coming from the front, but the Pioneers dropped about everybody else back in pass coverage, and Corey just found the open seam on the outside there. Tommy hit him. First and 10, Panthers on the Pioneer 14-yard line. 2 tight ends again. Pitch back to Malik, going left. Cuts outside. It's a foot race. I believe he's going to score, and he goes in.
Tell you what, Malik got outside just a little bit and just juked them back inside, and they went back inside, and he made a foot race to the end zone. That's what the Panthers have to do. Look for them to go for 2 instead of kicking the extra point, because if they go for 2 and are successful, then the field goal can tie the ball game up. This is a big conversion right here.
I think you're right, Coach. Good call. And you're right. That field goal could tie the ball game up. So Panthers in a big line. Delay a game penalty against the Panthers. I think that was pretty quick flag, but didn't look like anything unusual for the Panthers as far as huddle time and coming up to the line.
It sure seemed, and that makes it real tough now. But there again, you kick 1, you're still down. You're down 4 if you're successful. It still takes a touchdown to win, whether you're down 4 or 5. So I look for them to still go for it. And then from here,
They do. They split Gorley wide left, and Haskin comes wide right. We'll go with 2 tight ends now with Young, the lone setback. Shaw drops straight back, looks out in the flat, and again Buckingham turned around and kind of quit running. I'm not sure what. He was open, but Tommy overthrew him.
Yeah, he was, and the thing that Derby has to do is not get down because we didn't convert 2, but it's we're getting to the tail end of the third quarter. There's still a full quarter to play, and Derby now just needs to come up and stop him again on defense and get the ball back for the offense. It appears that Derby's figured out what they want to do with the football now, but you can't do it if you don't have the football. So they've got to stay aggressive with the defense and get the ball back for the offense.
Fired, Coach. Get them fired up.
I think this is where that conditioning and that depth that the Panthers have could pay off, Terry. That west line and the defensive secondary could be getting a little tired. Kemp's kick is a deep kick. It's high. It's going to be fielded at the 15 by Smallwood. He cuts back and gets about out to the 24, and he's hit hard by several Panthers on that return.
That was, I believe it was Werman on the tackle 34 that time to break a long one on a kickoff.
Who's the fullback?
Arset.
High formation for the Pioneers. Brian straight handoff to the fullback, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard on the play. 22 Flowers, the ball carrier. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Pioneers.
Gentry's back in at fullback.
33 is back in the ball game. Brian rolls out. He's being pitches the ball. Smallwood breaks a tackle, but still going to be brought down after maybe a couple-yard gain. Should be short of the 40-yard line.
Devin Clish did a good job outside of getting the play turned back in. Derby's just got to get Pursuit out there just a little bit quicker. Talked about it, it's been big, and West has been able to convert and capitalize on third down situations, and they're getting key now in the ball game.
Handoff to the tailback Flowers, and he's hit. He get about a yard or two on the play, so I'm not sure what they tried on that. Just straight power football, and the Panthers rose to the occasion. Bring up 4th down and 4. Oh, 4th down and 4 yards. Wouldn't surprise me to see the Pioneers going a long count here, because a penalty would certainly give them the 1st down. And I'm sure Cook.
Derby just needs to regroup and make sure we handle this kick well and take whatever field position we can get without taking a risk of turning the ball over.
In the 4th quarter we start here, Terry, so this is certainly going to be hard football. Snaps deep, and he's going to get the punt off. It's a wiggly spiral. Malik's going to let it roll. I'm not sure.
That's a right decision, because if he has to field it, he has to field it down around his knees and ankles. And the one thing that they don't want to do is get a turnover here. He didn't have any blockers. If he had fielded, he probably wouldn't have much return. So nice, smart play by Malik that time.
In your own territory. Panthers going to have it 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. They send Parskel wide right, wide left. Wise is wide right. Pitch back to Malik, cuts back inside, breaks 2 tackles, still on his feet. Tyson breaks another tackle. It's a foot race, and there's only one guy to catch him, and I don't think he's going to do it, Terry. It's a touchdown, and there are no flags.
I tell you what, that was sheer determination and effort. Malik run the bread and butter play that's gone off tackle, power off tackle all night, and as soon as he got it, he saw there wasn't any running room. He cut back in field, and then he made 2 or 3 nice moves, hit a couple guys, and was able to hang on to the football. That was an excellent run for Derby, and that's really what they needed to do to get them pumped up.
Just an outstanding run, Terry. I don't think I've seen a better run by a running back all year. I don't know how many tackles he broke, but it was certainly 4 or 5, and he just never quit. And about the time you thought he was down, he put his shoulder down and lowered it into somebody and broke away. And I believe that's about a 75-yard touchdown run for Tyson. Panthers are going for 2. Tommy rolls right, looks downfield, throws back to, I'm not sure who he
threw back to Malik, just a little
wide
high.
open.
There wasn't anybody within 15 yards of him. That's one of the passes where Tommy just got to lay it out there and let him go get it. Those were the types of passes it seems like all season they connected on, and tonight we're really having a difficult time with those passes. Just to step up and suck it up a little bit and go out and do the job, and it's going to be interesting to see how they react right now. They've been fortunate West in that they had a game that go down to the last 20 seconds, the final kick against Northwest, and so they've been in the game of with this situation, with the game on the line, the 4th quarter, and the slim lead. And the Panthers, I guess, somewhat unfortunately, haven't been in this position, so it's going to be interesting how they react.
There's still 11 minutes to play in this football game, Terry, and it's by no means a 19-18 to put away. So the Panthers are going to have to play hard defense. Kemp gets set to kick off. Jason kicks a high, towering kick, going to go down to the 5 and fumble. Going to go back into the end zone. Flowers fumbles it. Ball goes into the end zone, and of course, high school rules, it's going to come out to the 20.
Well, I tell you what, that ball didn't go about a yard deep in the end zone, and they're fortunate they went that last yard, or they'd had to return it from down there. And
Here's, as you say, have a character check. It's their turn now, and can they rise to the occasion? And so are they going to stick with their basics or go back to the air? Hand off to Smallwood, and he's going to just gang tackle. Excellent penetration by the Panther, left side of that Panther line.
well, it was great penetration. I think Dave Ward was the first one in there on the tackle, and that's one thing that Panthers have needed to do was to get fired up and get off on the snap of the ball, and that time they did.
Be timeout on the field. I guess it's an official timeout.
Word we get, Ron, is they've asked for 7 seconds to be put back on the clock, so I don't know if they blew the play dead or if it started early before the snap, what the call was.
Second and 14. Pioneers send two receivers wide right and left. Single setback is Flowers.
There it is.
Brian drops straight back. He's looking. He's throwing downfield. He really hangs one up deep, and I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I can tell you it was complete. Klisch just... that was worse than a punt.
Yeah, it really was. Hang time on that was about 7 or 8 seconds, it seemed like, and that's one of those plays where you can't stand behind the defensive man waiting for him to catch it. You go around and get in front of him.
Well, I'll tell you, Terry, when you drop back and you throw the ball higher than you can punt it, and it just hangs there, it's more an act of God that he caught the ball than not. Straight handoff to Benford again on that quick hitter right up the middle, and he breaks it close to a first down. So, as we said, the Pioneers aren't laying down and dying. Going to be second and less than a yard. Ball on about the 33-yard line of the Panthers. Double wideouts again for the Pioneers, I formation. Brian drops straight back, falls down, still throws deep. He's got a man wide open. It's going to be picked off by Russ Parskell deep, and Russ is going to try and return it. He's back across the 30, 35. Russ is still on his feet down close to the 40-yard line.
That was a big play, and just what you were talking about, Ron, do you go for it? Well, the passing game, although it's been successful, it hasn't been pretty, and you hang passes up like that, you may complete some, but you're gonna give some interceptions up that throwing that kind of ball too, and that was a great job by Parskell that time, just being in position and waiting for the football. That was a big play for the Panthers.
Brian dropped back. Basically, I was surprised to see there's about 30 yards. Panthers have it first and 10 on their own 42-yard line. Big break for the Green. Pitch back to Ike, or Malik. Malik cuts back inside again. He's on his feet, gets down close. He's going to have a first down. Tyson's looking for the hole on the cutback, and he's just driving that ball downfield, Terry.
It's enjoyable to watch, Malik, because it's evident that the Pioneers secondary is not used for somebody putting their head down when they get ready to tackle him. And they're stepping back here waiting to get a shot at his hips and legs, and in the meantime, he puts his head down and goes over the top of them, and he's dealt out some punishment on a couple of his carries tonight.
Tyler Malik checks in at wide receiver now. Two tight ends in. Counter play to Malik, and that just hasn't worked well tonight, Terry. He's going to be stopped for probably a yard loss on the play. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage. West is really defense that play well.
Strength, which of course is that little trap or counter play.
Tell you what, if the Panthers can take it down and put it in here, Terry, with 8:40 to go in the game, it'll be a big boost and an awful heavy burden for the Pioneers to have to deal with. Second and 11. Shaw pitches back to Malik on the right side. Tyson hit right at the line of scrimmage. I think he may have gotten a yard on the play. Going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Who's our next tailback? Shelby?
Call's been holding against the Panthers, so it's going to be interesting whether the Pioneers want to move him back 15 yards and give him a down over or not. I look for him to move the ball back 15 yards. And, Derby's now going to have to open up a little bit, come out and throw the football a little bit to pick up. They're going to have second about 25 or 20 maybe. The key for them right now is you don't have to get it back all at once. You've got 3 downs to go get the yards that you need.
Coaching staff just gave me a note, Terry. Justin Igo, that collision he had in the first half, he just hasn't come back from it, and coaches aren't willing to put him in there. So Tyson Malley's going to probably have to carry the load unless maybe they make a switch and alternate Shelby Werman in at tailback.
Malik's had a lot of time back here at tailback, and like I said earlier, you really don't lose anything when he goes in. He can start for about anybody else we've seen tonight.
Shaw drops back, throws out to the flat to Malik, and it's complete on a little screen play, but it's pretty well defensed. He's still on his feet. I'm not so sure he's not. I'll tell you what, I've seen some fighting before, but he drugged those guys 10 yards.
Well, the thing was, the guy that could have made the tackle 7 or 8 yards up the field wasn't trying to tackle Malik. He's trying to get the ball away from him, and it's sometimes you can do that, but while you're trying it, meantime he's going upfield for 5, 6, 7 more yards. Great effort by Malik that time.
We gotta hurry.
3rd and 11. Panthers picked up 14 of that back on that holding call, so they go with 2 tight ends now. Tommy rolls right. Tommy's going to be sacked. Jason Young just missed the block there. Lineman, defensive end coming in.
Over on this side of the field to the Pioneers.
Pioneers might get a delay penalty, or the Panthers might get a delay penalty here, Terry. They're taking a little bit of time to get that punt off. Shelby Werman will be doing the kicking. They get it off, so good kick, high kick.
Come on, Jason. Better get outside.
Good return by 33 Bedford again. He fielded it on about his 15-yard line and brings it back out almost to the 35. So good return. A couple of tackles missed down around the 20. I don't look for West to give it back to him unless Derby takes it on downs. Hand off to Flowers inside, hit hard after about a yard gain. Haskins in there, and I'm not sure who else on the stop.
Them here and then make them go into the throwing situation.
2nd and a long 7 for the Pioneers. Power I, 2 tight ends in. Straight handoff to the, I'm not sure who. 32 is in the ball game now for the Pioneers. That's Johnny Bedford. I assume that's Jeremy's brother. He's a sophomore.
He was lined up in the
Watch the trick play.
real tight behind the tackles, a blocking back in the eye, and then it was just a quick dive to him.
3rd and 6 for the Pioneers. 45, Faisal, their big tight end, splits out right a little bit. Slight split of and the other side. Power I. Brian drops straight back. He's going to look downfield. He throws out. It's going to be short. He was pressured hard by Scott Haskins, Terry.
Yeah, he really was, and that's one thing that they needed to do was get some pressure on him, and they did. But there again, he's just not a throwing quarterback, and it's going to be tough for them to convert if he has any kind of pressure on him.
5:19 to go in the ball game. Derby's got a player down. I think it's Jason Gamble, but I'm not sure.
Timeout.
Well, it definitely puts the Pioneers in a punting situation with 5:19 to go in the ball game, and certainly plenty of time for them to punt and pin Derby back and hopefully on their part hold them and get the ball back. But I look for anything from Coach Schwartz, because as you say, you win this ball game tonight, you've certainly probably got 3 more ball games for sure as you get into the first round of state. If you lose, you've got 2 more ball games, and it's probably going to be pretty hard to get practice for those, even if you know you can win them.
Yeah, it will be, and of course the other ball game going on concerning this district is South and Southeast playing in Wichita tonight, and both those teams coming into the district play with a 1-5 record.
John is his replacement.
This may be the one we get.
Devin Clish drops back to receive the punt. Devin's going to let it roll. It's going to roll dead on about the 21-yard line of the Panthers. He didn't even attempt to field it. Of course, the punter just attempted to kick it out, but there's a flag back upfield at the line of scrimmage. I think it's probably a holding call, and I think if I was a personal foul against the Panthers, it's got to be after the kick, Terry.
That's still our ball.
I think.
Well, I'm not sure from where that was thrown in the backfield. That could be a close call.
Just a good question of whether he had kicked the ball when they threw the flag. I guess they're coming back upfield, so I'm going to say it's a first down for the Pioneers. I don't know what all that was about, but
Who got it? Reed? Who was it?
I guess I don't see any jubilation on the Pioneers' part, but I see the Panthers backing up. So
Panthers have their defense in, so it looks like I think they do. It looks like
That's it.
that is a big
Nobody touched upon it.
big break. They're calling, I believe, here the coach is saying they're calling something against roughing the kicker. I didn't see anybody touch him, so I'm not sure that's
I
correct.
didn't either. The only one I saw getting close was Jason Young, and he was being blocked. So if he does hit the punter, he would have been blocked into him.
Well, I guess the point of it is they marched 15 off, and the Pioneers have it 1st and 10 now at the Derby 45-yard line. Power I, two tight ends, hand off to Flowers straight ahead. He's hit after about a 2-yard gain.
They're in a position now where it's a 4-down drive, so they've got 4 downs to make 10. They're not going to turn the ball over by punting to the Panthers.
Officials calling timeout. I'm not sure why. He's pointing down to the south end zone for something, but no, he's talking to the Derby players. Must be an equipment problem. Looks like they've got everything straight now. Looks like Russ Parskell had something wrong with his helmet. Russ seems to be all right. Power I again, two tight ends for the Pioneers. Handoff straight ahead to Bedford, and he's hit after maybe a yard gain.
I tell you what, that was a quick snap. I'm not sure that the west line was set, Ron. They no more bent over and then they were snapping the football.
Terry ball on the 40-yard line of the Panthers, 3rd and 5. Pioneers split 2 receivers wide, I formation. Go with a long count, hand off to Bedford, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. They'll probably give him a half a yard, maybe. They just went to the well one too many times on that play, and the Panthers stopped it cold. So
This could be, to Derby's benefit, this is, I know on this drive, this is, I believe, the second time out that West has used. So if they do turn the ball back over to Derby, they're not going to have the ability to stop the ball, but stop the clock maybe one time. And that's to tighten up on their defensive coverage on the wide people. I don't look for West to try to throw the ball deep because the last 2 deep passes have been terrible. But look for that quick slant across the middle, and you have to take that away from them.
Pioneers split a man right, I formation, 2 tight ends in. Pressure is, he's excellent. Scott Haskins going through. Ryan dropped straight back to throw, and Scott came in, brought him down.
That was a great play on Scott's part. Defensive coverage good, but he had no time to set up. If he did have somebody open, he didn't have time to set up. Panthers now have 3 minutes and 22 seconds. They need to run off the clock and look for them to keep the ball on the ground. And I'm sure that they've told the players to hang on to it and wrap it up. And the last thing we do is want to turn the ball over.
Now, this is
at the most, West has 1 timeout, Ron.
This is a situation, too, where the Panthers could just break one because West, I'm sure, is going to be tackling the football. High formation for the Panthers, 2 tight ends in. Hand off to Jason Young, the fullback. Jason pulls forward for about 3 yards on the play. Might get it 4 on it to cross the 50-yard line into Pioneer territory.
Derby basically, Ron, needs to pick up 1 1st and 10 to run the clock out. And they can do that, but just hang on the football and block like they know they can, like they've done all season.
Two tight ends again. Parscale's wide right, pitch back to Malik. Tyson cuts back inside. Going to pick up about 2 or 3 on the play. He's going to bring up third down about, looks like about 3, Terry. Pioneers take another timeout. I don't know if that's their last one or not.
That punt block.
Well, I'll tell you what, Terry, that is their last timeout, and 2:19 on the clock. Panthers pick this first down up, and as long as they can hold on to the ball, they basically can run quarterback sneak and have him down and run the clock out.
Here they go.
Power.
I'm sure West will be coming on this play.
They're all on the line of scrimmage. Pitch back is to Malik, and he goes nowhere. They're just they're shooting linebackers, and that play they brought Bedford in again, 33, and he tripped him up in the backfield, but I think he might have picked up a little bit, or basically got back to the line of scrimmage, I guess. Going to bring up fourth down and a long 3.
I tell you,
Tough call for Coach Young.
well, I tell you what they might do is if they are going to kick the ball, they may let the clock run out. Use all the clock you can. Go ahead and take a five-yard penalty to delay a game. That's not going to affect you all that much. You give up 5 yards to run some additional time off the clock, and then go out and punt and try to pin them down their territory.
Panthers are going to take the penalty and run that time off the clock. Punting team is on the field. Shelby Werman will be doing the punting for the Panthers. So Shelby's probably going to hit it from about his 37-yard line, I'm going to guess. Make it about the 30 or 35-yard line. 1:31 to play, so certainly is an exciting game for the Panthers and the West fans. And the West fans have had a few exciting games this year, and I'm sure they still think that they can win this ball game, and of course they can with only a 1-point lead for the Panthers. So this punt's going to be critical. Good snap. Shelby gets off a towering kick on the right side. It's going to be, and he's not going to field it. Excellent punt by Shelby Werman, and again, game of inches, Terry.
Well, it sure was, and that was that depended on which way the ball bounced off the end of the football. If it had gone out a yard this side, then it'd been 9 yards away. But West still has 8 yards to go for a touchdown, as you can't stand behind the receivers and let them have the football.
Well, I think West has got to throw the ball, Terry, and I think Derby knows that. The question is he going to throw it deep? Brian drops straight back. He's being pressured hard. Throws out in the flat. Oh! Almost picked off by 81. DeVore? Is that Dave DeVore?
Yeah, it was. Dave was out from his. Only playing a lot of guys deep.
Second and 10.
Watch the drag underneath.
2 wide outs. Brian drops straight back. Throws deep downfield. Way overthrows his man. He had a number 81 big tight end, Burton.
Nobody gets behind him.
Third down, 10 for the Pioneers. Double wideouts again. Brian drops straight back. A lot of pressure. He's going to throw out in the flat. Almost picked off by Tyson Malik on a diving catch. I don't know anybody was even turning around looking for the ball.
Well, they did have a receiver out there, but like you say, Ron, he was out there going downfield. I think he was thinking about cartoons in the morning because he sure wasn't looking for anybody to throw him the football.
They go in the ball game, Terry, and this is the season on the line for both teams right here. Fourth down, 10. Pioneers on their own 20-yard line, so everybody knows what's coming. They split Benford out wide right. Flowers is wide left. Brian drops straight back. Not much pressure. Throws hard. Picked off by Tyson Malik. He's still on his feet. He's just protecting the ball, Terry, not worrying about whether he goes anywhere.
Well, the worst thing he could do is pick it off and turn it over and give him 4 more downs. And he just did a good job of wrapping the ball up and taking care of it. He knew that all he had to do was hang on the football, and that would mean a Derby victory tonight.
Would you do me a favor?
West has no timeouts left, so Derby's got to take one snap to get the clock running, and then it's on to second game of the district next week.
Could you carry that down for me when I go? I'll get it. I just can't hold it on this stuff. Oh, okay, I'll carry it. I'm sorry. Panthers are not even going to run they call a timeout with 30 seconds to go, so they'll have to snap it once, Terry, and I'm sure Tommy will just down it, and that'll be the end of that. But certainly has been an exciting ball game here. Terry, Panthers are on top 19-18, 30 seconds to go, and West came to play football. One snap, Terry, and this one goes in the record books, but this has been the hardest game the Panthers have had to play in several years. I think this has been a tougher game than the regional championship last year against Dodge City. Tommy just takes one step back and downs the ball, and that ought to do it.
That should do it. That was win or lose. That was an excellent ball game by both parties, and now the Panthers can start looking by. We've still got 2 district games. We can't take them for granted just because we beat the best team in the city. You still have 2 other city teams to play in South and Southeast. But this is a big win for the Panthers tonight. We're here with Coach Young after an exciting 19-18 win over Wichita West, and a game that's billed as the top game in the state. And boy, they didn't disappoint anybody, Coach.
No, it didn't. It was a thriller. I'm kind of speechless right now. Our kids really fought hard. It was just amazing because they were down 11 points there and just came storming back. I'm really proud of them.
That was one thing we talked about was you had a couple instances in this ball game where it was kind of gut check to the character of your team, and they came through.
Well, they showed some character, definitely. This is a different type of game. Our starters haven't hardly played in the fourth quarter this year, and that made it real difficult. We didn't know how we'd react, but I'm real happy with the way we reacted.
I think that was one thing that Wichita West was maybe fortunate. They were in a similar ball game against Northwest a couple ball games ago, and so they were used to it, and it was, like you say, a first time for you guys. What was West doing tonight that gave you problems that you didn't expect?
They threw the ball. They completed several passes, and they haven't been doing that all year. And it kind of surprised us a little bit. We had played most of the first half. We had played a defense with what would be an 8-man front, thinking we needed to stop the run. Second half, just about the whole half, we played our usual 7-man front defense.
Well, I think the kids arose to the occasion. This is one of the ball games that you hate to see either team lose because they both play so hard and both play a good football game. But fortunately, Derby was able to come out on top of it. You had some kids banged up. What's it look like on those kids, Coach?
Well, I'll have to check here with our team doctor, Dr. Niedry, and see what the situation is. I know Justin Igo was out of it a little bit. I don't know if he has a concussion or if he just got his bell rang. I don't know what the situation was there.
This game was not one without emotion and not one without the teams working hard. I thought your passing game was not quite as sharp as it's been in the past, and that kind of took a little bit of the game away from you. But I tell you what, the depth I think was important. When Igo got hurt, you bring Malik in, you don't lose anything. And the fact is, they may have been better off if Justin stayed in there. Malik came in and did a tremendous job.
Well, we certainly do have a lot of depth. That's our biggest strength, is our depth. We get to play a lot of kids, and it doesn't seem to matter a whole lot who's in there. They all do a great job.
Well, congratulations, a big win, and I guess the important thing is you still got 2 district games left that the kids can't look past. If this was a big one, and I'm sure everybody's aware of that, but we still have 2 more district games to get to where you want to be, and congratulations on a great ball game tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom. Good job.